Hi, in this video we're going to learn how to create the effect with jQuery to allow you to show and hide the content on click. So when we click on a button, you can see the button changes to close and we can see the content of the specific div. When you click again on the button, it goes back to the previous state. It displays open and obviously the div disappears. First of all, obviously you need to download jQuery library. So if you go to docs.jquery.com, downloading underscore jQuery, if you scroll down to the current release, click on the minified version, which is a compressed one, and then you can download jQuery from code.google.com. Now I have already downloaded this, so if we go back to the editor, together with this video, you have access to the exercise files. Please download them and put them to the root of your site or your project. And open the index.html file. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is we need to include our script files. We've got two files, the one which you've just downloaded, jQuery, and empty file which is called functions.js. So in index.html, we need to include both of them. So let's start by typing script type, and we have text JavaScript, and source is JS. First one we need to include is the jQuery library. So jQuery -1.3.2.min.js. Okay. And the next one will be, if we copy this line, next one will be functions. Okay. We also need to include our style sheet, which I've prepared for you, and you can find it with the exercise files. So for this one, we're going to type link rel style sheet. Then we have href, and it's going to be in style core.css. Okay, now that we have all this done, in between the body tags, we're going to start typing by the div. We're going to start with the div id wr for wrapper, and inside of this wrapper, we're going to create the first div class trigger and open. So it has two classes, and inside of this div we have a tag with just a hash, and we're going to type open. Okay, now that we have this done, we can go to the next line. The next line will be div with the class CNT for container. Okay, now that we have the first one done, also we need to include the clearer class, div class CL for clearer and non-breakable space inside. Now we can copy this and paste it as many times as we need to. Okay, so we have this. Now let's get some lorem ipsum content. I'm just going to use clips here in this application and just put this lorem ipsum in between the content tags to have some content ready for displaying. Okay, and we have actually everything ready inside of our index.html file. So if we want to preview that file, if we go to Firefox, refresh the page, you can see our buttons, but nothing's happening yet. So if we go back to the application, okay, now if we go to the functions.js and start typing document dot ready function, there we go. Okay, and first we're gonna check whether our trigger actually exists on the page. So if div dot trigger dot length is more than 0, then we're going to execute our code. Okay, now I'm just going to copy this to make it quicker a little bit. Okay, div trigger on click. We want to execute the function. Okay, and now we're going to do condition, if condition. So if this dot has class open, then we're going to do something else. We're going to do something else. Okay, if it has class open assigned to it, then we're going to type this, remove class open, and then if we copy this line, once we've removed this class, we want to add class close, and we don't want the content to move up or anything like that, so we're going to type return false. Okay, now another thing we need to do here, obviously we want to open the container with the content. So this next dot slide down, because we want this effect of the sliding effect. So slide down, and a speed, let's make it 100. Okay, now if we copy the entire thing and in the and paste it in the else statement, this time we're going to remove close and add class open. Otherwise, obviously, if our div trigger already hasn't got open class, then obviously it has close class. In which case, once we click, we want to remove close and add open class, so that the button state changes every time we click. Okay, and when we obviously click on the button once it's open, then we want the content to slide up. The slide up at 100, the same speed, and that's basically everything. So if we go to the browser, refresh the page, and try now, you can see our content is now sliding down whenever we're gonna click on the button, and the button status also changes. So that's everything in this video, and I'll speak to you in the next one.